And by golly, we're live. We're up. It's been a nice long weekend. I hope you had a good time yourself. I know I did. Well, today's date is June. It's not even July. It's August the 4th. That's what happens when you give me too long a weekend. It takes too long to retrain me. Let's get down to brass tacks here. For the last couple of weeks, we've been reading from The Darkening. That's a book by Rob and Laura Petri, available on Amazon for like about $8. It's insightful. You don't have to agree with all of it, but you really ought to take a closer look and see just how much of this stirs us true. Today we're going to do chapters 30 and 31. Chapter 30, which we're going to get into now, is step 6 of the 10 steps to the brink. Can you believe that's how close we are? Well, let's talk about it. Step 6 is the overall acceptance of extramarital sex, shacking up, and producing illegitimate offspring. Now, bad actors these days, openly shacking up, openly bragging about illegitimate children. Come on, it's not that long ago they would have kept this on the down low. They wouldn't have bragged and said, look, we got little bastards. Look, we're living out in sin. Look, we're not married. They wouldn't have done that. They'd have kept it quiet, would have been their own business, maybe some of their good friends. But today, they hang a flag out so the whole world knows. It is so widely accepted that these bad actors openly brag about it. Okay, worse yet is that a majority of Americans don't just tolerate this, they endorse it with a live and let live attitude that does not apply. And again, this is because of our lack of shame. Yes, they have an overt lack of shame, but we have a lack of shame too. Bereft of shame, a growing number of people openly approve of this. They approve of other abominations as well. I mean, the communists are masters of this live and let live school. This school of stinking thinking. It wasn't that long ago that nobody of sound mind or morals would openly boast of shacking up and producing illegitimate children. I was in a convenience store recently talking to the clerk, a nice enough young man. He said, we had another baby. I said, congratulations, what'd you name it? I forget the name, one of those new weird names, but he named the baby. And he went on to say, that's our third child. He said, we're planning on getting married next year. I looked at him for a second because I wasn't sure what I was listening to. I said, oh, you're going to get married next year? He said, yeah, we figured we might as well since we've already got 3 kids. That translates to, well, I guess we'll go through the marriage now that we've popped out 3 little bastards. The real cruelty of birthing a child out of wedlock makes it one of the cruelest things you can do to somebody. This is especially so when you rub it in by bragging about it. Hey, Bobby, your daddy is Smith and you're Bobby Smith and your mommy is a Robinson. Why do they have different names? Well, there could be a lot of reasons, but there's one that's pretty obvious. I don't know, Tommy. I guess it's because I'm a little bastard. I don't know. Maybe we'll brag about that. Maybe being illegitimate will hold special status in the future and will be a preferred thing to be. I don't know. But it seems to me that Satan has got to be wringing his hands in delight, smacking his lips, because we have destroyed, we have made a mockery of the glorious and miraculous gift of procreation. God didn't give us procreation as a side effect of sex, but rather the reason for sex. Sex between a man and a woman. Already gone into that. In the words of my sainted grandmother, this all makes my ass hurt. Let's go on to chapter 31, okay? This is step 7 in the 10 steps to the brink, and that is acceptance of large-scale dishonesty by politicians at every level. And we do. When a politician lies to us, to our face, and we know it's a lie, we've come to accept it rather than make waves. This complete redefinition of white lies has taken hold of our very souls. Donald Trump shocked the nation when he actually fulfilled all of his promises back in his first term as president. Nobody thought anybody could be president and keep promises, but he did. Conservative-minded people marveled at this, while the communists, the progressives, the liberal Democrat swine just gritted their teeth, clenched their fists, and prayed to Lucifer for guidance. That's what they do, you know. People such as, but not limited to, the governor of Idaho. They can lie to you through their teeth. Admit it. Rub it in your face, and then do it again. And they do so with complete immunity, and they do it again and again because the apathetic, ignorant, complacent masses simply accept lies as a political tool of the trade rather than as a violation of our trust. There is no sacred trust. We've paid a terrible price for this. Just look around. All right, let's put a scenario. You're going to buy a new car or a new house, and the salesman lies to you, doesn't give you the facts, lies to your face. You catch this person in the lie, you're going to be incensed. How dare you lie to me about this house? How dare you lie to me about this car? These are major investments. Like freedom in your country isn't? Well, of course, you would object to being cheated, especially if that offender looked you right in the eye, laughed in front of you, dealt you with a little bit of a wink and said, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. How in hell can you put up with these lying bastards in Washington, in the State House, in the City Council? Isn't it time to march on your capital, demand the resignation of all who cheat and lie to you? Civil disobedience has its place, and so does armed rebellion. The choice is yours, and either is better than sitting back and letting them screw you again and again and again. Over his past 4 years, the former president, Joe Biden, lied to us every time he opened his mouth, or that little eraser-headed mouthpiece of his, caught in lie after lie all the time. It got to where we couldn't even trust them to give us the time of day. Biden promised, one point, for example, he said, I will not pardon my felon son. Convicted of these crimes, he'll have to face the jury and the judicial system as everybody does. And this was a bulwark of his presidential integrity as he was ready to run for re-election. But that was not to be. A few weeks before the end of his term of office, this lying sack of crap bastard pardoned his son with the widest, deepest, most all-inclusive presidential pardon in history, known in the legal circles as the mother of all pardons. For those who say, that's business as usual, all I can say is that as long as you refuse to complain, to bitch, to write, to phone, or otherwise let people know of your disapproval, then you are a part of the problem. As a part of the problem, you are the problem. Get off your asses and do something, or kiss mine.